is the C 2025 E.L.A. past paper. The first task is spelling. There is one incorrectly spelled word in each line in the passage below. Draw a circle around the incorrectly spelled word. Write the correct spelling of the word in the box provided for each line. So what we have here is a paragraph, and in each line there is an error. So the first thing we're going to do is read the paragraph. Conservation was the exciting theme chosen by our science teacher for the competition. We were quizzed on different ways to protect and preserve our environment. Recycling resources was another feature of the contest. We attempted to create an innovative, useful machine and achieved our desired goal. In the end, the irresistible, enormous golden trophy belonged to our school. So now that we have finished reading it, we are going to identify our spelling errors. I know some of the errors are screaming at you at this point, but we're going to do it line by line. The first error is exciting. What did you learn? What rule is this? Before we add ing to a word, we drop the E, and that wasn't done in this case. So exciting is spelled E-X-C-I-T-I-N. G. In line 2, the incorrectly spelled word is competition. Competition is spelled with an E here and not an I. So it's C-O-M-P-E-T-I-T-I-O-N, competition, not competition. In our third line, the next error is recycling. You're hearing the soft sound, but it's not S, it is C. Recycling is spelled R-E-C-Y, C-L-I-N-G. In our fourth line, the spelling error there is attempted. Attempted is spelled with two T's. So it's A-T-T-E-M-P-T-E-D. In our fifth line, the spelling error there is achieved. You must know your IE and EI words. Achieved is A-C-H-I-E-V-E-D. In our sixth line, the spelling error is irresistible. Here they have irresistible. Irresistible is going to be an I here instead of an A. So irresistible is spelled I-R-R-E-S-I-S-T-I-B-L-E. Irresistible. And this is the spelling error. So once you identified the incorrectly spelled word and you spelled them correctly, then you'll get 12 marks. Task 2 is punctuation and capitalization. There is one punctuation or capitalization error in each line in the passage below. Insert the missing punctuation mark or capital letter in its correct place in each line. Again, we are given a paragraph. So we are going to read the paragraph and then identify our errors. On Monday, Mrs. Jones presented a class project for the monthly test. Our group was assigned 4 students: Jenny, Ravi, Jadon, and Chen. We had to read the famous novel Alice in Wonderland and prepare a skit on our favorite scene. How exciting! We were thrilled to perform for our friends. Wouldn't you have loved working on this fun activity? So now that we have finished reading, we are going to identify our punctuation or capitalization error. And the first one here is the M in Monday. Okay, we learned that the word Monday is always spelled with a capital M, proper nouns, days of the week, months of the year, specific holidays, specific names of persons are always spelled with capital letters, regardless of where it is in the sentence, whether the word is at the beginning, middle, or end of a sentence. So this first error here is the M in Monday. On Monday, Mrs. Jones presented a class project for the monthly test. Our group was assigned 4 students. The second error is a colon. We use a colon before we list things. So here we have a list of names. In some cases, you may have a list of grocery items or a list of colors. So we're going to continue reading. So I like to read It is very easy to miss errors if you're not reading. And again, it's a paragraph. So I am going to take it from the top again. On Monday, Mrs. Jones presented a class project for the monthly test. Our group was assigned 4 students, Jenny, Ravi, Jaden, and Chen. The other error is a comma. We use a comma to separate a list of items. So a comma is missing between Ravi and Jaden. Now they told us it's 4 students, so we should be checking Jenny as 1, Ravi as the 2nd, Jaden as the 3rd, and Chen as the 4th. We had to read the famous novel Alice in Wonderland. The error that's missing here is a quotation mark should be before the comma. Now, we don't really have much space here. So once you put your close quotation in, you will get your mark. So again, I would continue. Again, I will take it from the top. On Monday, Mrs. Jones presented a class project for the monthly test. Our group was assigned 4 students, Jenny, Ravi, Jaden, and Chen. We had to read the famous novel, Alice in Wonderland, and prepare a skit on our favorite scene. How exciting! An exclamation mark. An exclamation mark will be used here. We were thrilled to perform for our friends. Wouldn't you have loved working on this fun activity? What is missing is our apostrophe for wouldn't, the contracted form of would not. So these are the punctuation and capitalization errors for this section. This section is worth 6 marks. Task 3, grammar. There is 1 grammar error in each line in the passage below. Draw a circle around the error and write the correct form of the word in the box provided. So again, we are given a paragraph. They are not sentences. It's a paragraph, and it's very important that you read your paragraphs. When we arrived at the mall, we noticed long, winding lines at the food court. The variety of food were appealing to both vegetarians and meat lovers. Anne was the happier in the group when she saw the wide selection of vegetarian foods. She eager sampled many delicious fruits and vegetables. She loved pumpkin and could not eat it due to her allergies. I'm telling you, if you read these paragraphs, the errors will be screaming at you. When we arrived, the first error here is arrive. It should be in the past tense because it said here, when we arrive at the mall, we noticed. It should be, this verb should be in the past tense. So our answer is arrived. When we are, now I'm going to read it with the correction as I continue. When we arrived at the mall, we noticed long winding lines at the food court. The variety of food were appealing. That verb is incorrect. The variety of food was appealing. The variety was appealing. Okay, so that word is going to be changed from were to was. Now I'm going to read it with the corrections. So I'm taking it from the top. When we arrived at the mall, we noticed long, winding lines at the food court. The variety of food was appealing to both vegetarians and meat lovers. Anne was the happier in the group. Happier is incorrect. We use the comparative form where we are making a comparison between 2 things. It should be Anne was the happiest in the group. We should use the superlative form. So I'm going to circle happier. And my answer should be happiest. I'm going to read it with the corrections. Anne was the happiest in the group when she saw the wide selection for vegetarian foods or of vegetarian foods. Anne was the happiest in the group when she saw the wide selection of vegetarian foods. So we're going to change that preposition to of. Let's read it with the corrections. Anne was the happiest in the group when she saw the wide selection of vegetarian foods. She eager sampled many delicious fruits and vegetables. It should be the adverb eagerly. She eagerly sampled many fruits. So let's circle eager, and it should be eagerly. Let's read it with the corrections. She eagerly sampled many delicious fruits and vegetables. She loved pumpkin and could not eat it due to her allergies. That's the wrong conjunction. And is the wrong conjunction, okay? She loved pumpkin, but could not eat it due to her allergies. So we are changing and to but, and grammar is so very important. It is often overlooked. We can't overlook grammar or parts of speech. You begin learning that as early as first year, and it's for a good cause, because at the end of the day, the exam is not coming to ask you to define what a noun is or define what a verb is or a preposition or a conjunction, but it wants you to apply what you learned. You have to recognize when they are used incorrectly and use them. So don't overlook your grammar. This is the end of task 1, 2, and 3 in the E.L.A. paper.